Hi, this is Sarah of Span Wellness Mexicaribe magazine, and I'm here with an exciting webinar. We have Sal from Trybe, and we're going to be talking about sell the day, not the hour, marketing your spa, wellness, and ancillary offerings in the age of AI. Sal, how are you doing today?
Amazing, Sarah. Thank you and Team Mexicaribe for having me on today.
We have such an exciting topic. The AI is everywhere, as we know, and I'm sure many of our listeners will be excited to learn how they can sell the day instead of just the hour in their business.
Of course, it's a huge topic in our industry right now, and I'm very excited to be presenting on it today.
Perfect. I'm going to hand over to you, and we'll come back at the end with some questions.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, Sarah. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, awesome. Buenos dias, and thank you all for being here. I'm Sal Capizzi. I run growth and marketing at Trybe, and for the next half hour, I want to talk to you about a shift that has quietly happened underneath all of us. Your guest is not scrolling 10 blue links anymore. They're being handed one answer, one recommendation, and they act on it. So this session is about two things. First, how to be that answer, and second, once you have the guest's attention, how to sell them a whole day instead of just one 60-minute massage with no new headcount, new inputs, new packaging, but just one new relationship. Let's get into it. What you get in 30 minutes, four plays, one worked example, and the five key numbers that you want to watch. So here's a map so you know where we're going. Four plays, which is, let's start with play one. Be the answer. Make everything you sell findable and bookable, not just beautiful. Play two, sell entire itineraries instead of slots. Play three, join the hotel commercial team. And play four, personalize at scale without sounding like a robot. I will run through a single worked example, for a full service resort, sized to look generally like what we see throughout North America, LATAM, the Caribbean, and then I'm going to show you the arithmetic every time so you can argue with it. And one ground rule I want to say out loud: nothing in this session requires, extensive software that you don't already own. Every play here is packaging and a data problem, and not necessarily a purchasing problem. Let's start with the shift. The shortlist is made before anyone even reaches your site. So, just think to yourselves, have you ever used an AI assistant to plan a trip in the last month? Throughout 2026, AI is becoming more and more prevalent throughout, just doing research. Before it was like, typing on Google, who has the best beach in Mexico where I can do three things where I can get a massage, I can go parasailing, and then I could do some sort of like foodie activity. And, AI is coming up with single itineraries based on how you prompt it. And when this is our guess, they open 10 tabs, and let's say for your hotel or resort, you won on photography, position, and on price. And before, marketing meant getting yourself into the consideration set and looking gorgeous once you were there. Now, AI assistant summarizes and makes recommendations for your guests. The guest sees one answer, maybe three, and you win on three completely different things: clear facts, live availability, and the ability to book on the spot, which is so important. If a guest, and here's one thing I want to side note, if a guest cannot find it and book it online, absolutely nothing will recommend it. Not an assistant, not concierge, not a search engine, not a friend. Invisible inventory does not get recommended, no matter how beautiful the treatment room is. So take that into consideration in this age of AI. Direction of travel. Queries got longer and answers got shorter. Look at the slope on the left, and please do not write down the decimals. This is directional, blended from public search and travel planning studies. The message is the slope. not the number. In 2022, roughly 18% of wellness direct discovery ended without anybody clicking through to a venue website. And by 2024, 31. This year, we are around 48. So 2026, 48. The trend line points at something like 2 and 3. Now look at the right-hand side. Because this is part that actually changes your job, and this is what the guest types now. Quiet adults, they may type quiet adults only resort near Tulum with a proper hammam and morning yoga, first week of March, under $600 a night. Count the facts in that one sentence. Location, adults only, atmosphere, a specific facility, a specific class, specific dates, and a price ceiling. That's 7 or 8 distinct facts in a single query. Your website maybe only has 2 of them, and your booking engine is hiding the rest behind a login. So the assistant recommends the property down the beach that published theirs. The diagnosis. 3 failures and none of them creative. Now, before we fix anything, review, log into, the back end of our websites, I want to be clear. None of these are creative failures. I've been on a million, hotel and resort websites throughout, North America, obviously, but also LATAM and the Caribbean. Everything is beachy and looks so good and welcoming and warm. Your photography is good. Your copy is good. These are data and packaging failures. One, the menu is a PDF. Prices, durations, and who a treatment is actually for live in a document body, and nobody can search and nothing can quote. Your best offerings functionally are unlisted. 2, everything is sold separately. Spa classes, water sports, activities, dining, the cabana, beach chairs. Each has its own page, its own team, and its own checkout. Not because anybody designed it that way, but because most booking systems only ever sold one appointment at a time. I know one of those systems. The guests wanted a day, and you made them make 5 bookings. 3, spa's just not in the pipeline. Hotel sales sells rooms and meeting space. Spa finds out a 120-person group has landed when the group walks through the door at 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Fix those 3 things, and you have not spent a dollar on marketing yet. Let's go through a worked example. Costa Verde Resort, Spa, 320 keys, Riviera Maya. Let me make this concrete because averages are easy to dismiss. Meet Costa Verde. It is a composite. It does not exist, but it's sized based on iSpa resort and hotel spa averages. So most of you will recognize your property, your own property, somewhere in it. 320 keys, 74% annual occupancy, 62% leisure couples. Now your spa, 14 treatment rooms plus a hammam, a salon, and 2 studios. 31 classes and activities every week, yoga, dive, eating tours, bartending classes, cooking, and tennis. And $86,000 a year of spa marketing spend, which goes mostly to printed menus, social, and maybe one agency retainer. Every number that follows is modeled on this profile. Swap in your own key count and your own occupancy, and the arithmetic still works. Where the leak is. Per stay, per guest, $1,840. Booked, $312, which is discretionary. This is the money slide of the first half. Take a screenshot, or don't take a screenshot. We are going to send this entire deck to you so you can work in your own numbers and your own models into it after this webinar. Per occupied room at Costa Verde, $1,840 of room and package is already booked before arrival. That part is fine. Revenue management has dialed that in. Then look at what happens after check-in. Food and beverage, $186 goes toward spa, or $186, spa, $94, classes, activities, and excursions, $32. $312 of discretionary spend total. And the two numbers on the right explain why. 17% of guests staying book anything at all in the spa. 6% book a paid class, activity, or excursion. So 94% of people sleeping in your building walk past 31 weekly activities and buy none of them. The room is sold, the stay is not. And that gap between what the guests paid to be there and what they actually did while they were there is the number that your GM cannot explain in the monthly review. But it's also the easiest revenue in the building. Every $1 of discretionary spend per room night is $86,000 a year. And let me size the prize before I sell you the place so that every play has a number attached to it. Now do the arithmetic with me. 320 keys, 74% occupancy, 365 days. That is 86,432 occupied room nights a year, which means every single dollar you add to discretionary spend per room per night is $86,000 a year. $1. We are sitting at 312, and new capacity is required to move it. In the first 90 days is zero. No new treatment rooms, no new hires, no price increases. The four plays that allow each move, 312. Each one carries its own number, so if you disagree with one of them, drop it and the rest will still stand up. Now, how to be the answer? And I will be honest with you up front. Play one is data entry. It's admin. It's nobody's, favorite job. But it's the least glamorous work in this deck, but it's also the play that decides whether the other three are seen by everybody. Here's the work. 10 fields for every treatment, every class, every activity. What plain language simply said, what does this actually do for me? Duration and the turnaround time, price and what's included, who it suits, and just as importantly, who it does not. Not everybody from, B2B to B2C is necessarily our ICP. Practitioner and languages spoken, live availability window, location and travel time from the room, cancellation terms, accessibility notes, and what to pair it with. Three principles for how you use them. First, answer the question, then sell. Lead every single page with facts a guest is actually asking for. The candlelight, the ocean breeze, the ancient Mayan ritual, that goes below, not deleted. Second, have one source of truth for your entire spa, wellness facility, all of your ancillary revenue offerings. If the price lives in three places, it's probably wrong in two. Publish the 10 fields on your own site, then keep exactly the same facts in your listings, in your property management system, in your spa software, and in your review replies. When the facts agree everywhere, you get recommended by these AI engines. When they disagree, you get skipped because nothing wants to recommend a price that it cannot verify. And yes, that does mean killing the PDF menu. I know, kill it anyway. Third, bookable in two taps. This is so important. We are in the age where everything is right on our mobile phone and is being made easier. As the example above, somebody is typing an itinerary out into an AI engine where they can find all of their things and have pure recommendations, simple recommendations spit right back out at them. And then that's how they're booking if their criteria matches everything that AI answered to them. It seems very simple, but this is the one that almost nobody does. And it's what turns a mention into money. A recommendation the guest cannot act on immediately becomes a recommendation for somebody else. Live availability, real time, no callback, no inquiry form, no, our team will contact you within 24 hours. 12 offerings, 10 fields, one afternoon with a spreadsheet. That is the highest leverage marketing work you will do in 2026. And it's just fields, not even campaigns. Sell that itinerary. It's your probably the heaviest hitting play throughout this entire deck. This is the commercial heart of the session, and it's one sentence long. Stop selling appointments only. Here's what that looks like at Costa Verde. We'll call it a slow Wednesday. 7:30 in the morning, sunrise yoga on the north deck, $38. 10 o'clock, C Note swim with guided breath work, $95. Midday, half day beach chair and cabana service, $75. 2 in the afternoon, hammam ritual and a 60-minute massage, $285. 7:30 in the evening, chef's counter, courses, paired, $145. And those add up and you get $638. We sell it for $695. Same components, same rooms, same therapist, same food. $57 more than the sum of the parts, and it sells better, not worse, because the guest is not paying for five things. They're paying to not make five individual decisions. One price, one confirmation, one checkout they complete online at home 3 weeks before they arrive. Now notice what it does to your diary. Wednesday is the worst day on the books. 2 in the afternoon is the worst hour. This package fills your worst inventory at a premium and it never even touches your Saturday. And here's the operational part, which is where most properties get stuck. This holds capacity across 5 departments in a single booking. That is the piece a legacy booking system and a shared spreadsheet cannot do. And it's the honest reason why most spas are still selling one appointment at a time. The number on play two, and I want to undersell this deliberately because most modest movement on a large base is the entire story. Today, 6% of occupied room nights include a curated package. Six, target for the month. Six, 10%. That is 4 percentage points. Only four. 4 points on $86,000 in room nights is 3,000. 457 extra room nights carrying a package at $695 each. That is $2.4 million of incremental gross revenue. Net of your therapist time, your guide, and your cover costs. It lands near $1.5 million of contribution on zero new treatment rooms. And if you think 4 points is optimistic, run it at two. It's still north of a million gross. The play survives the argument. Join those commercial team meetings. They are so important. For so long, spa and wellness was considered a luxury and not a necessity. And so, our F&B has always come first. Over the years, spa has taken such a front seat. All of the other ancillary revenue, departments outside of rooms and F&B have been really on par with earning alongside F&B. Your general managers, your other teams across the board should all be dialed in on your spa. And this one is political to some, not political to others, but it's not technical at all. And it's the play that decides whether spa is treated as a cost center or a commercial line. Let's take a look at that in practice. If you report into a hotel, this is the most actionable in the entire slide deck. 4 asks in this order, each one small enough that somebody can say yes to it in a meeting. Ask 1, ask for a seat in the weekly revenue meeting, not as an observer. Bring spot occupancy and package, and attach them as a line item, sitting next to ADR and RevPAR. Here's the trick. Show up with numbers, not requests. Nobody invites the person who comes back to ask for things. Everybody invites the person who brings the number that explains the variance. Your second ask, Wellness inside two rate plans, just two, one midweek and one shoulder season, with the itinerary built in to the plan. So the room and the day are sold together in one booking rather than stitched together by hand afterwards by somebody at the front desk. Your third ask, spot in every group proposal. A standing wellness page in the mice deck, recovery sessions between meetings, a sunrise class, a group hammam, price per head, formatted, ready to paste. Make it so easy for your sales and marketing teams on site to include you that leaving you out almost takes more effort. And your last ask, the pre-arrival email shared. One slot in the confirmation, one slot in the pre-arrival sequence. That is the highest converting inventory the hotel owns, and almost nobody is fighting for it. It goes to a guest who has already paid, already committed, and is now actively looking forward to their trip. Four asks, which none of them cost money, all of them cost you a conversation. And here is why ask for matters so much. Timing beats messaging. Look at when the guests actually decide what they are going to do on the property. 14% decide at the moment of booking, 44%, the big one, decide in the 7 days before arrival, 27% on arrival day, and only 15% decide once they are on property. Now, here's the uncomfortable part. Almost all of your spa marketing spend sits in that last column, the tent cart, the lobby poster, the elevator screen, the folded flyer on the bed. We have all seen it. You are spending your budget talking to 15% of the decision, and most of that 15% has already filled their week. So move the spend left. Four moves. Put the itinerary in the booking confirmation, not in the room tent card. Send one pre-arrival message at day 7 with two options and a price. Only two, not 12. Give the front desk those same two options on one card for arrival day and stop discounting on property. Never use the word discount. I mean, your software at this point should be advanced pros at yield management and dynamic pricing, which is a whole separate conversation. But if they're already standing in your lobby, you are paying to move a booking that you already had. Personalize at scale. This is your fourth play. This is where AI earns its keep for a small team, and it's about production capacity, not creativity. I want to be blunt about where the line sits because this is where teams kind of sort of get it wrong in both directions. Hand to automation. 20 variants of one itinerary description by segment and by language. Turning your offering sheet into finished pages and listings. Drafting review replies for a human to approve. Summarizing what sold to whom and on which day, and translating the pre-arrival sequence into 4 languages. Everything under that should be with automation and will make your job so much easier. Things to keep with a human, what the property stands for and how it sounds, brand identity, look and feel. A lot of properties throughout the LATAM and Caribbean region are Forbes travel guide rated 4 and 5 stars. You work so hard. Keep the human element to that. I don't think that's ever going anywhere. That's, half the battle under these standards ratings. So always keep with a human. Train your staff, your spa desk concierge, your other managers that work underneath you, maybe as a spa director, accordingly. Always keep those things with a human. Anything touching health information or intake forms or notes, obviously, policy and procedure, and probably the law. Pricing decisions and discount approvals. The response to an unhappy guest with a name, all should be human. And which two offers actually go in the pre-arrival email? You, as a spa director, have the ultimate judgment call. That's why we're going through this amazing exercise you crafted a beautiful spa treatment menu, beautiful activities, offerings, But, to package them all together and not sell them one by one can increase your revenue and take the headache and grunt work out of a potential guest coming on the property to, plan their entire Wednesday versus, which is dead for you. And, they're looking at it like they just hit the jackpot, a pot of gold, because now for Wednesday, they already know their entire day is going to be in your facilities, enjoying their stay and all of their treatments and activities. And the pattern is simple. Automate the production, never the judgment, and never the voice. One guardrail, which I would put on the wall, cap contact at 2 messages per guest per stay across all channels combined, and never let a generated sentence go out unread. Volume is not the win here. A team of two producing like a team of eight is actually the win. And let's solidify play four. One itinerary, four audiences, four honest angles, and note the word honest because none of these are lies, they are emphases. Couples, let's say, for example, couples, a day that you do not have to plan. Two of everything, one price, hammam at 2 o'clock, $1,290 per couple. Plain and simple. Like I just gave the example. Their Wednesday, their Thursday, whichever day that you want, whichever days that you want to make packages for are already taken care of. People already know what they're doing. They don't have to worry that, they're going off site, but they have to be back to the resort in, whatever city they're in by two, kind of throwing a wrench in their day. If they're spending a beautiful week or long weekend with you, they already know that Friday is fully booked with an entire itinerary done for them, taking all the guesswork out of it. And for solo travelers, company if you want it, a group class, a private treatment, a seat at the chef's counter, 695. For incentive groups, recovery, not another dinner. This one, I love this. I mean, a lot of us here probably travel a fair bit. We have friends at other properties. Incentivized groups, work groups, which me and Sarah are going to next week. If I saw something where it was incentivizing me to, unwind with some of my colleagues and not just go to another dinner, even though we love them, that is a great path to go down, whether that's a sunrise class and a 20-minute chair massage between meeting blocks. $145 per head, very easy for the event manager to plan ahead for people attending. And then local members. You could say something like Wednesday is yours. Off-peak packages only, no weekend access, and by far the cheapest guest for you to serve. $189 a month if you have a membership model set up, which the software you're using should also be taken care of in 2026. Same building, same therapist, same Wednesday, four price points that all get defined themselves because each one is priced to what segment actually values. And the group version and the couples version are selling the identical inventory. This is what personalization at scale actually means. Not dear first name, four honest angles on one thing that you actually own. 5 numbers reported monthly with no vanity metrics. These are what you take to your GM, and there is nothing here about impressions or followers. One, discretionary room spend per night. 312, let's say, at Costa Verde. This is the headline. Everything else on this slide exists to essentially explain it. Two, spa capture of staying guests. 17%. Note that this is not spa revenue, it is share of guests. The third, itinerary attach rate, 6%. Packages as a share of room nights. Four, midweek occupancy. This is the big one, 41%. That is the inventory all four plays are aimed at. Five, booked before arrival, 58%. The share of spa and activity revenue that is pre-sold or forecasted to pre-sell. The baselines on screen are Costa Verdes. Set your own in week one and then never change the definitions. A metric you redefine is a metric that you cannot defend. And if you cannot report these 5 today, fix that before you buy or plan anything. Now, let's say you've implemented this 12 months on, and I want to be explicit. This is a model, not a forecast, but every input, it is one of these 4 plays. $312 to $408 of discretionary spend per occupied room night. What moved it? $44 from itinerary attach, going from 6% to 10. $29 from pre-arrival selling, 31% pre-sold to 58, and $23 from group and rate plan inclusion. Across 86,432 room nights, that is $8.3 million in additional gross revenue. And look what's not in that list. No treatment rooms added, no menu price rises, no new headcount, the drivers attached, timing, and the midweek fill. That's it. Start here. 6 things, 1 person, 30 days. This is another screenshot slide, but again, we'll share the deck with you. Um, Write the 10 fields for your top 12 offerings in one sheet. Retire that PDF. Again, your spa and ancillary revenue management software in 2026 should serve as the spa desk concierge person that never stops working for you. We are all on our phones, from from the morning till the nighttime. Everything is done on a mobile site, on an app, so on and so forth. And this is where, brand identity and beauty comes into play. Make it beautiful, but get rid of that PDF file at the same time. 3, build one midweek itinerary, price it above the sum of its parts, and check that it can be booked in a single transaction. 4th, get 1 slot in the pre-arrival email sequence, and then take 5 numbers to the revenue meeting unprompted. And then you built that treatment menu already, revisit it. Write the wellness page for the group proposal deck that's sent over by your sales and marketing team. Let them know that the offering is there ahead of their stay. A lot of these people, they're already, booking restaurants for group dinners. Why wouldn't they, utilize the facilities on site for another group activity, group relaxation, even if it's just a sunrise morning yoga class for the group? It's going to bring in a ton of new revenue. Notice that 5 of those 6 are writing and not even buying. The one thing genuinely worth testing this week is number 3. Go and try it. Can a guest on your website right now book a spa treatment, a class, and a table in one single checkout? Or does somebody on your team still stitch that together by hand? If it's by hand, you have found your bottleneck. And it's the thing standing between you and every number in this deck. If you remember 3 things, the whole session, 3 sentences. If you forget everything else, keep these 3. 1, if a guest cannot find it and book it online, nothing will recommend it. 2, guests by days, not appointments, and days always price better. And 3, grows fastest when it shows up in the hotel commercial meeting with the numbers. Slide 24, shameless plug. Here's my ask, and then I will take any questions, or me and Sarah are just going to chat for a couple minutes. Trybe is willing to do a 45-minute working session with you, free for anybody that attended this webinar. We map your offerings, find your quiet days, and we build one packageable day together, and you leave with the sheet. Your 10 fields that we went through, 1 itinerary price, and your 5 numbers defined. You don't even leave with a proposal, you leave with the work done. That is my time and your time, and I want to chat with you. Book it we'll send out the link after this webinar, and we will send this deck out with contact information after the webinar as well. Thank you all. There we go. Thank you all, and thank you to the Spa and Wellness Caribe team for having me. I'm Sal Capizzi. If you want to send me an email before the recorded version of this webinar and deck goes out, you can reach me at sal@try.be. book the working session, and we will send you this deck plus the full revenue model as a spreadsheet so you can put your own numbers in it. Sarah, back to us for a chat.
Hi, Sal.
Hi,
Wow,
Sarah.
that was fantastic. What
Thank you.
useful, incredible information for our listeners. It is definitely so important. Let's get rid of the PDF spa menu,
Sarah, I hope I see absolutely none next week.
right?
We won't.
And so interesting that so much of the reservation of activities is done way before the guest gets to the
Yeah.
hotel or on the pre-arrival day. And very few people are really making those decisions in the hotel.
Yeah.
So interesting to see those numbers. And you're right, such a waste of resources when spas are putting everything, all of their marketing dollars into in-room advertising on the TV, the little tent cards on the bed, and offering discounts on their quiet days. Like it's
I'll
if
tell
the
you this, Sarah,
decision's
and
been made.
I don't know if it resonates with you. When I get my confirmation email, even if I've missed everything when I'm booking a hotel room and a hotel room only, if something jogs my mind in that confirmation email, if the hotel or resort sends, okay, confirmation, a number, the price you paid, whatever, but then like a footer to follow in the base of that email, this is what we have to do on site. Click here to book your Wednesday, which includes XYZ, and it's, 2 in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night, or however people want to package it. I'm more inclined to look at that and get it done before I even get on site because also in my mind, it's just the way I think. I think there's a benefit factor to exclusivity. If I see like, book now as soon as I book that hotel room and save 10% on that package,
Mhm.
even as a former spa director, even if I increase the price of that package to make, I should probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, to make that 10% make sense for driving additional revenue,
Yep.
like get it done in that confirmation email because it's gonna, prompt your guests. Okay, I have nothing going on Wednesday. I'm here for 7 whole days. A spa day with all of these amazing, treatments and activities could be nice. And look, I'm saving money. It's something that's been increased. Oh, it's something that's, gaining a lot of traction as the years go on. But I think that a lot of hotel and resorts, there's still a huge area of opportunity.
Definitely, definitely. So quick question about getting rid of the PDF menu. What's the fastest way spas can transition to dynamic web prices? And is that something that Tribe can help with? And
Absolutely.
how would they go about that?
Absolutely. Getting rid of the PDF, I mean, especially on the online book, on like the hotel's online booking site, I've gone to a couple this year, and PDFs are still a very real thing. Get rid of them. Invest in spa software. This is another conversation, but business management software for any department throughout the hotel is there to serve a purpose. It's there to be your right-hand man. And a lot of spa software these days offer incredible online booking sites. One thing that Tribe does really well are building out those packages so you can sell an actual day. And we have numerous statistics of people who have seen tens, 20s, 30% jumps in annual revenue from selling days and not sessions. But yes, Tribe has the abilities to build out entire packages, no matter what that looks like based on your offerings, and also yield management and dynamic pricing.
Great. And obviously, booking the whole day up makes it really easy for the guests to, like you said, make one decision instead of five decisions and five bookings. But what about flexibility if the guest arrives and they want this and this from the day package, but they don't want all of it? How flexible can the booking system be if they're working with Tribe?
That's a great question. You can customize those packages any which way you want. So you can absolutely build out a day that offers everything, but based on, so let's call that maybe like somebody doesn't want the 24 karat gold facial and they would rather a hammam treatment instead.
Mm.
Just build another package and swap that service out.
Great. So it really can be customized
Yeah.
to every guest.
Yeah. And then this doesn't
Fantastic.
even have to be a full day thing. I think the sweet spot, full days are obviously, they'll make you the most revenue. It takes all of the guesswork out of the guests, trying to figure out what they're doing for the entire day on Wednesday when the city is dead, the resort is slower. But I personally, I feel like a sweet spot, which still applies to all of this, are half day journeys, half day experiences. Maybe it's like a morning with sunrise yoga that includes breakfast. Tribe also offers a numerous amount of F&B integrations for our partners at like Seven Rooms we just launched, which is a huge technology platform for booking tables and restaurants in hotels and resorts. So maybe it's a morning yoga session, a table for breakfast. Maybe it's a catered breakfast. Maybe it's pulling the breakfast into the spa, have the capability to do that, and then a single massage treatment, whether that's a massage or a facial. And by that time, okay, sunrise yoga, eating, hour and a half, hour-long massage. Your guests are, at 11 o'clock noon already. Maybe that's maybe that's what a half day, package looks like.
Great. So really customizable. Okay, and another question. So for properties interested in working with Tribe, let's say you have a spa director interested in working with Tribe, does Tribe then necessarily need to be the management system throughout the whole hotel, or can it integrate with the other systems that the hotel is working with?
That is a great question. You know your technology and your spa booking platform. So Tribe has over 50 hotel technology integrations. So the single source of truth at most hotels and resorts is a property management system, a PMS system. Tribe connects seamlessly to, I want to say all of them, but I also can't say all of them, the majority of them. So Opera, Infor, Muse, Guestline, a ton of them, which your hotel is probably running on.
Excellent. Okay. And so for the spa director going to those meetings, weekly meetings with their numbers, is Tribe there and easy for them to use in terms of providing all of those numbers so they can go armed with all of the data and statistics that they need in order to get things moving from the management team?
Absolutely. Tribe has a full reporting dashboard for single and multi-site properties. So if they want to get specific for one of their, a lot of, I think the term complex has been ad amongst a lot of spa directors these days or senior spa director. They're overseeing multiple sites, which they have a use case to prove for implementing new software, converting software, what have you, or just moving off of spreadsheets, which we're seeing a lot of. But full reporting within Tribe for single and multi-location sites.
Fantastic. And one more question that we have. For a small spa or a small location with just a few rooms, is this something cost effective and usable for small scale?
Yeah, I would say we do have small scale packaging. That would start. It has to make sense for your spa operations. If you have three treatment rooms, that's pretty much, Tribe's sweet spot in a starting ICP. If you have three treatment rooms that are fully booked and you're just like, I have to move off of this manual process, or my legacy spa software just isn't working anymore, or it's gotten way too expensive, or they're charging me an arm and a leg for professional services, which is eating up my three treatment room spa revenue. Talk to Tribe. We absolutely have package prices and pricing for small scale spas.
Perfect. So that's where that 45-minute working session that you
Yeah.
mentioned would come in useful. So
Yeah.
any spas interested in that should definitely get in contact with you, book that in and see how they can improve their workflow and get more bookings, sell that day.
Yes. Absolutely. Sarah, thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Sal. Great presentation, really interesting information.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.